You are not alone. And yet, it feels like no one truly sees you. You can be surrounded by people, hear voices, laughter, conversations, and still feel completely disconnected, like you're watching life from the outside. Why? Why does this feeling exist? Why do so many of us feel this quiet, unexplainable loneliness? Maybe it's not what you think. Maybe you don't feel alone because there's no one around you. Maybe you feel alone because you can't be yourself around the people who are. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to say something but didn't? How many times did you laugh even though you didn't feel like it? How many times did you sit with people and still feel completely out of place? So you adjust. You say less. You hide parts of yourself. You become a version of you that fits better for others. And it works. People accept you. They talk to you. They include you. But deep down, you know they're not really connecting with you. They're connecting with the version of you created for them. And that's the part that hurts. Because even though you're not alone, the real you still is. And over time, you stop showing that part completely. You keep it to yourself. Your thoughts, your questions, your feelings. Not because they don't matter, but because it feels like no one would understand them anyway. And that's when it hits the hardest. Not when you're by yourself, but when you're surrounded by people and still feel like you have no one. But here's the truth. The problem isn't that you're hard to understand. The problem is you've been around people who never really tried to understand you. And maybe you had to feel that. Maybe you had to feel alone. Not to break you, but to shape you. Because when you've been alone long enough, you start to see things differently. You notice what really matters. You understand how rare it is for someone to truly listen, to truly care. And because of that, you stop settling. You stop chasing people who only understand a surface version of you. You start valuing depth, real conversations, real connection, and that changes you. It makes you more aware, more selective, stronger in ways no one can see, because you've learned how to be there for yourself when no one else was. So maybe this loneliness wasn't a weakness. Maybe it was an advantage. Maybe it taught you something most people never learn: how to understand yourself, how to sit with your own thoughts, how to grow on your own. And one day, when real connection finally comes, you'll recognize it instantly because you know exactly what it's worth. So maybe you didn't lose anything. Maybe you were just becoming someone who no longer settles for less than something real. Maybe you were never meant to be understood by everyone, just by the right ones. And until then, don't lose yourself trying to fit into a world that never really tried to understand you.